inside you, there is a version of yourself you were always meant to become. Maybe you've felt them occasionally, in a quiet moment, in the middle of a long drive, when you're alone for the first time in weeks. There's a different person you can almost see, the one who would be living the life you keep telling yourself you'll get to someday. And here's the truth. That version of you isn't far away. They're not impossible. They're not reserved for somebody more talented than you. The only thing standing between you and them is a specific set of things you are doing every single day that quietly prevents you from becoming them. Most people never identify those things. They just feel stuck. They keep working hard, keep trying, keep waiting for the version of themselves they sense underneath everything to finally arrive. And the version doesn't arrive, not because they aren't trying. Because the trying is happening on top of a layer of habits and beliefs that quietly cancel it out. Today, I want to walk you through 10 of those things, 10 specific obstacles between who you are and who you were meant to become. Each of them sounds small. None of them are. And almost all of them are running in your life right now without you noticing. Because they've been there so long, they feel like just how things are. By the end of tonight, you'll see them. And once you see them, you'll know what's been getting in the way. The becoming. Once the obstacles are cleared, happens almost on its own. The version of you that you were meant to be has been waiting underneath these 10 things. Clear them, and that version starts coming into view. Now, before we get into the list, you have to understand what these obstacles are actually costing you. Because most people don't think of them as costing anything. They think of them as just how they are. The cost is invisible because the becoming that's being prevented never happens. And you can't miss something you never had. I am telling you, the cost is the gap between who you are and who you could be. And that gap over a lifetime becomes the difference between the life you actually live and the life that was available to you all along. You see, every person walks around with a sense of who they could be. It might be quiet, it might be buried, but it's there. And every single day, the gap between who you are and who you could be either narrows because you've taken some action toward becoming, or widens because you've spent another day with the obstacles still running. There is no neutral. There is no holding pattern. You're either becoming or you're regressing. The middle doesn't exist. And the regression isn't dramatic. That's why most people don't see it. You don't suddenly become less. You quietly stay the same while the world changes around you. The people on different trajectories pull further ahead. The opportunities you would have caught at 30 pass you at 40 because you weren't the person who could catch them. By 50, you've accumulated enough years of staying the same that you've started to believe that's just who you are. You must take this seriously because the cost compounds. Every year you don't clear the obstacles is a year you spend further away from who you were meant to become. And after enough years, the distance becomes too large to bridge. Not because the bridging was impossible, because the version of you who could have done it gave up trying somewhere along the way. This is not about being hard on yourself. It is about being honest about what's actually happening. You aren't stuck because you lack potential. You're stuck because there are 10 specific things doing the sticking. Identify them. Clear them. The potential takes care of itself. Listen, today, 10 things. Some of them you'll recognize immediately. Some of them you'll resist. The resistance is information. The ones you resist hardest are usually the ones doing the most damage. Stay with each of them. By the end of this list, you'll know which ones are most yours. And then you can start clearing them one at a time until the becoming finally has room to happen. Number one, you must stop comparing yourself to people on different paths. This is the single most exhausting habit most ambitious adults run, and almost none of them realize how much energy it takes from them. You see somebody who has something you want, and instead of using their example as information, you use it as a measuring stick against yourself. And you always come up short because they're on a different path than you. Here's the truth. The comparison is meaningless. You don't know their starting point. You don't know what they sacrificed to get there. You don't know what they're missing that you have. You see one slice of their life, usually the most polished slice, and you compare it to your whole life, including all the parts nobody else sees. The math is rigged before it begins. Your messy reality is being measured against their curated highlight. You will always lose that comparison, and the losing will quietly drain energy from the work that would have actually moved you forward. You see, the only meaningful comparison is between who you are today and who you were a year ago or 5 years ago. Are you better than you were? Are you more capable? Are you closer to who you want to be? That comparison is fair because both versions are on the same path, your path. The comparison to other people on other paths is just noise that costs you. The fix is to redirect the comparing energy. When you notice yourself starting to measure against somebody else, stop. Ask yourself a different question. What about my own path do I want to advance this year? What did I do last year that I want to build on? What did I fail at that I want to address? Those are the questions that produce growth. The questions about other people's lives produce nothing but the slow erosion of your self-image. Every comparison is a small theft from your own becoming. And over years of comparing, you've been robbed of a meaningful amount of the energy that should have been going into your own path. Stop the theft. Run your own race. The only legitimate measure of progress is the distance between who you were and who you're becoming. Next, stop believing the story your past tells about you, because your past is data, not identity. The things you did, the way you behaved, the patterns you ran, those are records of who you were, not predictions of who you are or who you'll be. You see, most people walk around with a fixed narrative about themselves, built from selected memories. They tell themselves things like, I've always been bad at this. I always procrastinate. I always pick the wrong people. I always fall short at the end. The word always is the giveaway. It signals that you've turned a collection of past data into a permanent identity. And here's the truth. The past doesn't have to be the future. The patterns you ran when you were younger, less aware, less developed, those patterns aren't sealed in. They're just patterns. They can be broken. They can be replaced. They have been broken and replaced by countless people in worse situations than yours. But you cannot break a pattern you're insisting is who you are. The insistence keeps the pattern alive. Every time you say, that's just how I am, you reinforce the very thing you're trying to change. The story becomes the structure. The structure produces the behavior. The behavior confirms the story. You got to drop the fixed narrative about yourself. Treat your past as evidence of what was possible under the conditions you were operating in then. Treat your future as a separate question. With different conditions, you get to influence. The two are connected, but not identical. And the connection runs through your current actions, not through some essential nature that doesn't actually exist. You've got to change the language. The grammar matters. The grammar shapes the identity. The identity shapes the actions. The actions, over time, change the past you used to be defined by. Next, you got to stop outsourcing your judgment to other people. This is the habit of letting somebody else's opinion about what you can do, what's reasonable, what's possible, become the ceiling for your own actions. And once you've outsourced your judgment, you can never become more than the person whose judgment you outsource to. You see, every important decision in your life requires judgment. Should I take this risk? Is this opportunity worth pursuing? Am I ready for this? Should I trust this person? Is this idea any good? The answer to those questions are yours to figure out. Nobody else has the information about your life that you have. Nobody else carries the consequences the way you carry them. But most people, when those questions come up, defer to somebody else, their spouse, their parents, their friends, their boss, the conventional wisdom, the expert opinion, anybody whose answer might absolve them of having to come up with their own. And every single day they defer, they lose practice at using their own judgment. The capacity atrophies. By the time they're 40, they couldn't make a major decision without external validation if their life depended on it. Here's the truth. The capacity to make judgment calls is the most important capacity a developing adult can build. Without it, you're a leaf in the wind of other people's opinions. With it, you can navigate any situation, weigh any choice, decide for yourself what's right. And the only way to build the capacity is to practice it often, including when you're not sure, including when the call is wrong sometimes. You must start making more decisions yourself. Take input from people you trust. But you cannot delegate the final call. The final call is yours. Even when it would be easier to let somebody else make it, even when you're scared of being wrong, the judgment is yours to develop, and it only develops through use. Over years of using your own judgment, you become somebody whose judgment can be trusted by you. And that trust, your trust in your own ability to figure out hard questions, is the foundation of every other capacity you might build. Without it, you're permanently dependent. With it, you become the kind of person who can make decisions about who you want to become, which is the entire point. Next, you have to stop treating fear as a stop sign, because fear, for most adults, has become the automatic reason to turn back. Something scares you, you avoid it. The avoiding feels like wisdom. But the avoiding, over decades, has shrunk your life into a small set of things you can do without feeling afraid. And here's the truth. The version of you that you were meant to become resides on the other side of fear, not on the safe side of it. Every meaningful step toward who you could be involves something that scares you. Speaking up, making a hard decision, taking a risk, having a difficult conversation, putting yourself in a situation where you might fail visibly. All of it's scary. All of it where the becoming actually happens. You see, fear isn't a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that you're at an edge. The edge of who you've been and who you could become. The edge is uncomfortable because you don't know what's on the other side. But the other side is where the new version of you exists. And the only way to get there is through the discomfort, not around it. The fix is to reframe what fear means to you. Instead of treating it as a stop sign, treat it as a signal that you're at the edge of growth, a signal that this is exactly the kind of thing you need to do more of, not less. Fear, used right, is a guide to where your growth lives. Avoided, it becomes the wall around your smaller life. You don't have to chase fear recklessly. You don't have to do every scary thing just because it scares you. But when fear shows up in connection with something you actually want, when you're afraid of asking, afraid of starting, afraid of trying, that's the fear you must walk toward. That fear is pointing at growth. The avoidance is pointing at the smaller life. Over years of walking toward your fears, instead of away from them, you become somebody whose life is much larger than it would otherwise have been, because every fear you walk toward turned into a new capacity. And every fear you avoided stayed as a fence around a life that kept shrinking year by year, decade by decade. Next, stop confusing comfort with safety, because they're not the same thing. The comfortable life is not the safe life. The comfortable life is the most dangerous life you can live, because comfort over years atrophies every capacity that would have produced anything different. You see, when you're comfortable, you stop pushing. When you stop pushing, your edges round off. The skills that needed sharpening go dull. The relationships that needed work go neglected. The work you should have done gets put off, because the comfort makes the putting off feel okay. And here's the truth. Comfort is safe in the short term. Nothing bad happens this week. But comfort is catastrophic in the long term, because the version of you that comfort produces is not equipped to handle the changes that life is going to bring anyway. The comfortable person hasn't built the muscle. When life eventually demands something hard of them, they crumble. The safe life is the one that includes regular doses of discomfort. Chosen discomfort, deliberate discomfort, the kind that builds capacity. The hard conversations, the challenging projects, the new skills you're bad at when you start, the relationships that require effort, the risks that might fail. Every chosen discomfort, taken on willingly, builds the muscle that allows you to handle the inevitable discomforts that life sends. And after years of choosing discomfort, you become somebody who can handle whatever comes. The comfortable person, on the other hand, became somebody who falls apart when anything stops being easy. You must rewire what you call safe. The truly safe life is the one where you have built capacity. The capacity comes from choosing discomfort. So when you feel yourself reaching for the comfortable option, the easy choice, the familiar pattern, the path of least resistance, pause. Ask whether you're choosing safety or choosing avoidance. They almost never overlap. Choose the harder option, deliberately, often. The capacity that follows is the actual safety. The comfort was the illusion of safety the whole time. Next, you got to stop hiding your real ambitions from yourself, because somewhere inside you, you know what you actually want. The full version, the big version, the one you have not been letting yourself fully think about, because thinking about it would force you to take it seriously. And taking it seriously would force you to face the gap between where you are and where you would have to go. You see, most adults have done a quiet thing with their ambitions over the years. They've shrunk them. They started in their 20s wanting bigger things. Then they got scared or got tired or got busy, and they made the ambition smaller, then smaller, then smaller. Until eventually, the ambitions they tell themselves they have are barely worth pursuing, and even those they struggle to pursue. The bigger ambitions never went away. They just got hidden, buried under the smaller, more reasonable versions. And the buried ambitions live underneath everything, quietly producing a sense that something is missing. You know what's missing. You just haven't been letting yourself say it out loud. Here's the truth. You have to unbury what you actually want. The big version. Not the reasonable version, not the achievable version. The version that scares you a little when you say it. That version is the one your soul has been waiting to hear you acknowledge. This isn't an exercise in fantasy. It's an exercise in honesty. The big ambition might be unrealistic by some measure. It might not happen exactly as you imagine, but it's still the truth of what you want. And you can't become who you were meant to be while pretending you want less than you actually want. The pretending has been the obstacle. The honesty is the way through. Write the big ambition down tonight on a piece of paper. Look at it. Sit with it. Don't show it to anybody yet. Don't make it a plan yet. Just acknowledge it. The acknowledgement by itself changes something. The ambition has been hiding. Once you've named it, it's no longer hiding. And once it's no longer hiding, you can finally start making decisions in relation to it, instead of in avoidance of it. Next, you must look honestly at the people around you and ask whether they know the version of you that you're trying to become, or only the version of you that you've been. Because the people who only know who you've been will quietly keep that version alive, without meaning to, without realizing it, just by being who they are around you. Let me tell you about a woman I once knew. She was 35 years old when she came to me, frustrated. She had been trying to change. She had been working on herself for years. She had built new habits, read the books, done the work. And every time she felt like she was finally getting somewhere, she found herself back where she had started. She could not figure out why. The internal work was real. She was a different person on the inside than she had been 10 years ago. But on the outside, the life looked the same patterns, the same struggles, the same sense of being stuck. I asked her to describe her social life. She told me her closest friends were the ones she'd had since high school. They saw each other almost every week. They had been together through everything. They knew her better than anybody. And I asked her, when you're with them, who do they treat you as? Who do they remember you being? She thought about it. She said, they remember me from before. They tell stories about who I used to date. They joke about my old habits. They reference patterns I had 10 years ago, like those patterns are still who I am. I said, that is your problem. The new version of you is real internally. But every week, you go and spend hours with people who keep the old version of you alive, just by being who they are with you. They don't mean to. They love you. But the old version is the version they know how to relate to, and the gravitational pull of that version is what keeps bringing you back. She didn't believe me at first. She tried something, though. She took 2 weeks where she didn't see her childhood friends. She spent that time with people who had met her in the last year, people who didn't know who she used to be, people who saw only who she was now. She came back changed. She told me, I felt free in a way I have not felt for years. Those people saw me as the person I'm becoming. They didn't reference an old version. There was no gravity pulling me back. I felt, for the first time, like the new version could just exist without having to fight to stay alive against the old one. She didn't cut off her old friends. She kept them, but she shifted the weight of her social life. More time with people who saw who she was becoming. Less time with people who only knew who she had been. Within 2 years, the changes she had been trying to make for a decade were finally sticking. The internal work had been right all along. The external context had been the variable she had not adjusted. You may need to do the same thing, not dramatically, not by cutting people off, just by becoming aware of where the gravitational pull of your old self is strongest and reducing its weight in your week. The new version of you can't live full-time in rooms where the old version is the only one. being remembered. Next. You have to stop settling for the version of you that's good enough. Because good enough is the most expensive plateau in adult life. Once you've decided you're good enough, at your job, at your relationships, at who you are, you stop reaching. And the reaching accumulated over years was the thing that was going to produce the becoming. You see, most adults reach a plateau in their 20s or 30s, and they settle there for the rest of their life. The plateau is comfortable. They've gotten reasonably good at what they do. Their relationships are stable. Their habits are set. There's no immediate pressure to keep growing. So they don't. And the next 40 years are spent at roughly the same plateau with minor variations until they die. And here's the truth. The plateau is not the end of growth. It's the place where growth gets harder, more deliberate, less automatic. The early growth happened on its own. You were a kid, then a young adult, becoming something just by being alive. The later growth doesn't happen by itself. You have to choose it. And most people, when faced with that choice, choose to settle. The fix is to refuse the settlement. Not aggressively, not by upending your life, by keeping one specific direction in which you are still reaching at every age. Maybe it's a skill you're still developing. Maybe it's a relationship you're still working on. Maybe it's a quality of character you're still building. Pick something. Refuse to be good enough at it. The thing you refuse to settle at is what keeps you growing. It doesn't have to be everything. It has to be something. Because as long as something is still reaching, the rest of you stays alive. As soon as nothing is reaching, the whole system goes into maintenance mode. And maintenance mode over decades looks like aging in a way most people would not have chosen if they had seen the choice clearly. You must pick the one thing. Refuse to settle at it. Keep reaching. The reaching, even in one specific area, keeps the whole becoming alive. The settlement in everything is what makes the becoming quietly end. Next. Stop saying yes to things that don't serve who you're becoming. Because every yes is a no to something else. And most adults are running calendars full of yeses that don't connect to anything they actually want. You see, saying yes feels nice in the moment. The other person is asking. The thing sounds reasonable. The cost feels small. So you say yes, and then yes again, and then yes again. By the time the week arrives, your calendar is full of obligations you said yes to without thinking. And the things that actually matter, the becoming, have no time on the schedule. I am telling you, the default yes is one of the most expensive habits an ambitious adult can run. Because the things that serve your becoming usually require space, focus, time. And the space, focus, and time get eaten by the casual yeses faster than you realize. You wake up at 50 and your becoming has been crowded out for 30 years by yeses you said in 3-minute conversations. The fix is to install a default no for low priority things. Not no to everybody, not no to important things, but a default no for anything that doesn't clearly serve who you're trying to become. The default no creates space. The space is what becoming requires. You're going to feel rude at first. You're going to worry about disappointing people. You're not going to lose them. The people who matter understand. The people who don't understand, we're going to leave eventually anyway. And the space you reclaim with the no is the space you finally have to put into things that matter. Every yes to the wrong thing is a no to your becoming. Every single day, make those no's visible to yourself. Say them clearly, not apologetically, just clearly. Then put the reclaimed time into the things that actually move you forward. Over a year, the calendar starts to look completely different. Over 5 years, the life starts to look completely different, because the becoming finally has the space it always needed and was being denied by every small yes you said without thinking. Next, you must stop treating your current life as proof of what you're capable of becoming, because your current life is data about the past, not a prediction of the future. The fact that your job is small right now does not mean your future job is small. The fact that your income is modest right now does not mean your future income is modest. The fact that you haven't done the big thing yet does not mean you can't. You see, most people treat their current life as a verdict. They look at where they are and conclude, this must be what I'm capable of. The conclusion feels reasonable. It seems honest. After all, where you are now is the result of all your previous decisions. So if you're here, this must be your level. But here's the truth. Your current life is the result of who you were, not the limit of who you could be. The previous decisions were made by a previous version of you, operating with previous information, in previous conditions. The version of you who's listening to this is different, has access to different information, can make different decisions, can produce different conditions. The trap of treating your current life as a verdict is that you stop trying for more because you've concluded more isn't available to you. And once you stop trying, the verdict gets confirmed. The current life becomes permanent. The bigger life becomes impossible. Not because it was impossible, because you decided it was, based on data that wasn't actually predictive. You must drop the verdict. Your current life is information about what one version of you produced under specific conditions. Those conditions can change. That version can grow. The next decade is genuinely open. The data from the last decade does not lock it. This is not about denying reality. It is about refusing to let one snapshot of your life become the definition of all your future snapshots. The snapshot is one frame. There are thousands of frames ahead. Each of them is shaped by what you do, starting now, with whatever information you have and whatever conditions you find yourself. The becoming is still possible. The current frame is not proof against it. So here's what I want you to carry with you. 10 things that have been quietly stopping you from becoming who you were meant to be. Comparing yourself to people on different paths. Believing the story your past tells about you. Outsourcing your judgment. Treating fear as a stop sign. Confusing comfort with safety. Hiding your real ambitions. Surrounding yourself with people who only know who you were. Settling for good enough. Saying yes to things that don't serve you. Treating your current life as proof of your future. Listen, every single one of those is a habit you can change. None of them are who you are. All of them are what you've been doing without seeing it clearly. Once you see them, you can clear them. One at a time, slowly, deliberately, over years. And here's the truth. The version of you that you were meant to become has been waiting underneath these 10 things for a long time. They're not gone. They're not lost. They're just buried under habits that have been preventing them from coming through. Clear the habits and they come through. Not all at once, slowly, but unmistakably. Over 5 years, 10 years, the becoming finally happens. You must pick 3 of these to start. The 3 that hit hardest when you heard them. Begin clearing those 3 over the next 90 days. You cannot fix all 10 at once. Pick 3, then come back and pick 3 more, then the next 4. By the end of a year, you'll have addressed most of the list. By the end of 3 years, the version of you who exists will not look anything like the version that started. I am telling you, this is the work that matters most. More than the goals, more than the career moves, more than any specific project. The work of clearing the obstacles between you and who you were meant to be is the work that produces every other outcome you care about. Because the version of you who has cleared them is the version that can do anything else you want. Become that version, starting tonight, with one obstacle clearly seen, one habit identified for clearing, one step toward the version of you that has been waiting patiently all this time for you to finally let them come through.